In today's video, we're coming at you with a good old-fashioned reading update.
Let's dive in. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Taylor, and welcome to Good Books Lately.
Yeah.
Like we said, today is just a reading update.
Yeah, we're just having a fun.
We're having a fun. We've got new merch, guys.
Yeah, go check it out.
I almost spilled this like right in my lap. If you're regular around here, you hear us say this. I don't know. It's a thing that we say.
And
we
came
start.
up with a fun little design.
Brandon did. Looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Having a fun. We've got books. I finished a book.
What?
And I'm almost finished with another one.
Shocker.
What? And we've got some pickups that we want to share. And we have a new segment to the show that we're calling
Other Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about other stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like loosely related to books,
Yeah.
but it's other stuff. So it kind of helps, balance it all out.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one.
Cool.
It's 2:22 in the afternoon. Make a wish. And I'm having coffee.
Yeah.
Probably not necessary. You ready to dive in?
I'm ready. Let's do it. You want to start it?
Done and
With your
dusted?
You're done and dusted?
Yeah, I do. I really do, because this is, wow, really strong. I use the Chemex to make my coffee, and I've been drinking my coffee like weaker lately.
It's good.
Whew, all the hair
Get you
on my
going in
chest.
the morning.
Get you buzzed. I finished a book. You guys, I finished When Gods Die by C.S. Harris. We can all go ahead and celebrate. Taylor finally finished a book. I don't remember when I started this book, but it was a while ago. It's how long have I been reading
It's
this
over
book?
a month.
It's been 84 years.
I've been doing everything slowly. For whatever reason. I don't know what it is. I'm just moving slowly through things right now.
Yeah.
And that's fine. This is part of the Sebastian St. Cyr mystery series by C.S. Harris. It follows our main protagonist, Sebastian St. Cyr, during the Regency period in London. And there are various different mysteries that happen, murder mysteries, where he is compelled to try to figure them out. And this second book in the series is introducing some personal things in his life that I think is going to have this like overarching, like this other story arc that goes like these are
like
procedural.
12 of those, right?
There's like 20 something of these books. I don't know, something like that. But they're all procedural in that the murder mystery is wrapped up by the end. Done. But there's another character arc and story arc that goes
carries
throughout.
over.
Mm-hmm. And a bigger, deeper one in terms of his personal life starts in this, which is really interesting. I really enjoyed this. It's rich with period detail, descriptions of places, descriptions of historical events. It's written in third person, and so a lot of the historical elements are kind of conveyed to you through like the narrator so it's nice because it's third person. They can give you the background information, and it doesn't feel like wonky and awkward for the main character to just be, hey, how about that time in history where this happened, right? So it's good, but there is a lot of that, and sometimes it gets a little slow.
Yeah.
I felt as I moved towards the final third of the book, like the third act of the book, though, that's
where you was really kicked into gear.
Well, I guess, but I felt like the mystery was starting to lose its like oomph.
Oh.
And then his little personal story that was interesting started to kind of take the front. I don't know. It's good. I've heard the next one in the series is so
really
good.
All right.
And I think they're great. They are definitely they're kind of a meaty read, more of like an intellectual murder mystery than just like a potato chip murder mystery, where you're just kind of cruising through it. It feels like you put in a little bit of effort to learn about the time period. But I liked it.
Called Why Mermaids Sing?
Why Mermaids Sing.
Nice.
I'm almost tempted to just pick it up. I'm reading these in mass market paperback just because that's what I have, and I figured I'm just going to keep buying the mass market paperback version. But yeah, I loved it. If I had to give it a star rating, I think right now it sits at 4.
All right.
3.75 if I'm being like really conservative, but I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I think 4. I think 3.75 is too conservative. But I liked it. When Gods Die by C.S. Harris. If you like a good mystery that takes place in England, Regency period.
Yeah. Cool.
This one's for you.
Nice. All right, my turn?
Yes.
So I've only finished one physical book since the last update, and that was the one I was bookmarked, or one of the bookmarks.
Yeah, by Haruki.
That is Haruki Murakami's Kafka on the Shore. I enjoyed this book. I really did. Really well written, but it is definitely a mind-bending kind of metaphysical adventure. You follow the character Kafka Tamori as he is a runaway, and 15-year-old runaway, and he you start to understand about him that he kind of has this like connection to this metaphysical world, kind of this like dream state almost, and that his dad, who he's running away from, and his mom, who he doesn't really know, there's this story that you're not aware of at all at the beginning, nor do you get any real significant answers at the end about his kind of family. You know that there's something there, and that a lot of it happens in this other world. But on his adventures, it's kind of like it talks about kind of like destiny and free choice kind of elements. Like,
is this like kind of the eternal sunshine of the spotless mind with Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet? Isn't that kind of what that's like?
I don't know. I've never seen
That's
that.
one of those metaphysical mind trip movies that I love, but I never really know what's going on.
Right. And then there's a character in here who's like an older man who is kind of dim-witted, but he also has this ability to speak with cats. But then you learn that something happened to him when he was younger that caused him to become dim-witted. And then he has this kind of ability to, in this metaphysical world dream state, and they're somewhat linked, Kafka and him, and they kind of overlap. But really what it is kind of just telling the story of like, adventure a little bit, but more of like isolation and your destiny and kind of what it means. And if you do have any choice kind of towards that. If you want to hear me talk about it more, I did a deeper dive into my thoughts and things over on our Patreon.
In a blog post?
In a blog post, but also in a video too.
Sure.
So if you want to see and hear me talk about that more, I did that. But I did enjoy it. This is good. It's well translated too. It's a Japanese translation, or it's written in Japanese, translated. But it's there's a lot of reading,
a lot of
here.
pages and a lot of
it's
words.
It's like 460, 70 pages, 66 pages,
with like
but
no
there's no
margins.
margins, and it's like 10-point font.
Books like that, I don't know, you can comment down below how you feel about that, but whenever people talk about like these books, it's very metaphysical and like it's happening in this other realm, and you never really, I feel like I don't want to read those books, but I don't doubt that if I did take the time to read them, I would probably like drink the Kool-Aid. You know what I mean?
It's definitely not one you're going to read just like you're not reading that to just lighthearted reading.
Sure. It's like you're putting into intellectual effort into it.
Yeah, and then it makes you think, it makes you question it, and then it causes you to reflect and be introspective, and
that's valuable.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you want out of that kind of book.
But I just guess I don't ever want that out of any book.
Sorry.
I don't know.
Anyway, I enjoyed it. I think I gave it 5 stars.
Good.
Of course.
You gave that 5 stars?
Why not? It's good. It's great.
Because I feel like right now you just decided to say that you gave it 5 stars, but you were like, I gave it 4. I thought you were going to say like, I gave it 4 stars. Be like, I gave it 5 stars.
No, I did. I gave it 5.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Very good.
You want to move on to book? That's done and dusted.
Done and dusted.
I do have other
done and dusted
books. They're audiobooks. I'm on this like the last book of the Murderbot Diaries. I've been just flying through them. Wow. Yeah. Which, if I must say, when I first mentioned that I started the first one, I kind of felt like it was lacking in action. Kind of, as I've gone on, they've kind of progressed to be better. Like, not that I did not enjoy the first one, but the second and third one, they picked up action. You start to more character development. You start to get more interactions with other things. And you start to learn more. Then the 5th book, which is actually, it's the one so far that's not a novella. It's an actual full-length novel.
Okay.
That one was really good.
Cool.
I think it's called Network Effect. That one was really good. It had a lot of action, a lot of complex. Like, it's really, I thought that was the best of the series. And then the next one, which I finished already, Future Telemetry, I just finished it. It's really short, back to novella size. It was kind of like a murder mystery kind of thing, but you end Network Effect, and you kind of are like, oh, what's he going to do next? And then the next book in line doesn't go with that timeline. It's like it's like on my back before Network Effect, or is this sometime after? You don't get any mention of what happened before, so it's like really odd. And so I'm gonna read the next one or listen to the next one and see if it like picks up from that one. I don't know. It feels disjointed, but yeah, that's my other reads.
Good.
All right, bookmarked. Sorry,
bookmarked. These are books that we have finished.
Bookmarked.
Excuse me. No, these are books that have bookmarks in them that we have not finished yet. I will start. Okay.
Do.
I started this book
Yesterday.
yesterday evening.
Yeah.
Like before bed.
Yeah.
Like I was sitting, you were getting the kids ready for bed, and I was sitting out here, and I just popped it open and I started it. It now, Grant. Okay,
we talked about this as one of the summer reads in our last video that you were eager to read.
Yes.
Or excited to read for summer.
Mm-hmm. It has, I can't remember what I said in that last video, 197 pages. But you have to understand that a lot of the pages have, not a lot of the pages, but there are a number of pages that have pictures, diagrams kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is called Strange Houses. It's by the author Uketsu. He's a Japanese author. He is, let me tell you, it says, Uketsu is an enigmatic presence on YouTube and an author specializing in horror and mystery. He always appears in videos wearing a white mask and black body stocking, with his voice digitally distorted. His true identity is unknown. His novels, Strange Pictures and Strange Houses, were massive hits in Japan where he lives. So, I mean, that's all I know about this guy. And I only have ever read the other book, Strange Pictures, and I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I devoured it. It's really easy to read. The translation here was Jim Ryan, and I think he also translated Strange
Makes sense.
Pictures. I mean, you would think.
Yeah.
The way it's written...
You're almost done.
Yeah, so I started this, like I said last night, I'm already 87% of the way through. I'm on page 170.
27 pages left.
And it's so
she's going to set it down. Forget it.
No, I will finish it because I really want to know how this ends. But it's really easy to read. The writing is very casual.
Yeah.
There's nothing special about the writing. It's written in, like, so there's dialogue between people. And the way that the dialogue is written is like if you're reading like a play.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have like parts, right? And then you have the introspection, like the parts where the person's talking to themselves or thinking to themselves. And then you have pages of floor plans, right? So what's happening in this book, in fact, here, it says, when a writer fascinated by the macabre is approached by an acquaintance, he finds himself investigating an eerie house for sale in Tokyo. The building, with its bright and spacious interior, seems like the perfect first home, but upon closer inspection, its floor plan reveals a mysterious dead space hidden between the walls. Seeking a second opinion, the writer shares the layouts with his friend Kurihara, an architect, only to discover more unnerving details throughout. What is the true purpose behind the house's disturbing design, and what happened to the former owners who disappeared without a trace? When a body suddenly appears and a young woman reaches out about a second house, it soon becomes clear that the writer and his friend may be in over their heads. In Strange Houses, mystery horror YouTube sensation Uketsu casts readers in the role of detective, inviting them to help map out the truth hidden within a series of chilling and puzzling floor plans and the terrifying plot behind it all. It's very... it is creepy, but it's creepy in a like a Hitchcock, like a Hitchcockian kind of way, not in a gory, gruesome. Slasher. No, and there's talk of dismemberment in here, but it's very much like this happened, like this body was found like this. You're not in the process of witnessing that, and so everything is described in a way that's like chilling and creepy and just like ugh. And also some of it is a little bit. You have to suspend disbelief a little bit for some of it because it's pretty wild, but it's fun and kind of cozy. So if you want to read something that's like that, maybe a little Hitchcockian, and you don't want it to be too intense, this is a fun one, and you rip through it so fast. And I love looking at the different floor plans and trying to kind of
figure out where the things
just like analyze what the intentions are before you get to that part of the story. But I'm really enjoying it so far.
Yeah, you'll finish
I'll
it today.
finish it today. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's Strange Houses by Uketsu. And
Nice.
I'm using my bookmark that I made. Did we share our bookmarks? I painted this bookmark. Oh, it's like not showing up. Yep. Whatever. I painted this bookmark and I love it. Look at it's got goldfish. Here, I'm gonna turn it this way. Look at, isn't that cool? Yeah. Anyway. Okay, moving on. Your turn. What do you have?
My bookmarked is this one here, also kind of in the horror genre. It's called Mary, An Awakening of Terror by Nat.
Hold on. Hold that up there for just a minute longer. And just look at the cover, folks. Just take a minute. Okay. Did you see it?
Yeah.
It took me a little while. I thought this was just some woman hanging out in the bathtub
Yeah,
until
but
I
there's an
looked
extra
at it. I'm
arm.
like, what is that arm?
Yeah, Mary, An Awakening of Terror by Nat Cassidy. I believe this is his debut novel. He's got others.
It's a male author?
Nat Cassidy's debut novel, horror novel. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Somebody says it blends Midsummer with elements of American Psycho and a pinch of I'll Be Gone in the Dark. This was my brother's choice for our little like family kind of book club that we have.
Yeah.
And so he picked this. We got it from the library. I got to return this today, but I'm almost done. I got like 50 pages left.
Mm-hmm.
This follows a woman named Mary who is quiet, middle-aged, doing her best to blend into the background. Unremarkable, invisible, unknown even to herself. But lately, things have been changing inside Mary. Along with the hot flashes and the body aches, she can't look in a mirror without passing out, and the voices in her head have been urging her to do unspeakable things. Fired from her job in New York, she moves back to her hometown, hoping to reconnect with her past and inner self. Instead, visions of terrifying mutilated specters overwhelm her with increasing regularity, and she begins auto-writing strange thoughts and phrases.
Auto writing?
Yeah, like she has a journal and like she doesn't realize it just automatically writes. She'll like look at that. She's like memory lapses. It's really weird. Mary discovers that these experiences are echoes of an infamous serial killer. Then the killings begin again. Mary's definitely going to find herself. So this is a supernatural kind of...
I feel like I can already tell you how that sounds.
Okay.
I think I know.
It's kind of supernatural. You definitely have to suspend your disbelief. It takes place in a fictional town known as Arroyo, Arizona, in this desert, and there's like this cult religious sect following that lives there, and there's a famous serial killer that lived there 50 years before, and it just
Was it a woman?
No. 50 years before, and she's from that town, and the whole thing. It's interesting. I'm enjoying it. There are parts where you're like, come on, why are you doing that? Like there's like things where I'm like, I don't get why she makes the choices she does or behaves in the way she does. It definitely touches on menopause or pre-menopause in women and kind of makes that connection and like how people are misinterpreting her like delusions and like her, I don't know. It's interesting. I'm enjoying it. Definitely. It's
written by a man though.
Yeah. He goes, there's an afterwards that he talks about why he's
talking about
go to the afterwards.
What's this? I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
You like were talking when I asked you if it was a man. I'm just like, what's this guy doing talking about menopause?
Yeah.
The afterword is titled, "What's this asshole doing writing a book about menopause?"
Yeah.
So apparently he's self-aware.
Yeah, and he wrote this like his what do you call acknowledgments or something at the beginning. Thanks his mom because she was like the first
was there to help,
and then she unfortunately passed before this got published or something. But anyway, it's good. It's entertaining, but there are parts where you're like, come on, like, I don't get why this character is doing this. And then it kind of starts, then there's definitely a point that things pick up, and then you just, I've been able to read a lot. Like at first I was just reading like kind of small chunks at a time, like 20, 25, 30 pages at a time, if that. And I was definitely it was going slow. My brother and my aunt have both already finished this.
Do they like it?
They both liked it. It's not. They both found it that there was a part, like I said, like the kind of the middle section that is very kind of slow, or not slow, but it just feels like it needs, you kind of whatever. But they both enjoyed it enough. It's definitely a creepy book where you said like there's mention of, there is like descriptions of things that happen that are like gross and like kind of it's like gory and just like and like.
Are there ghosts in it?
Yeah. Yeah, there's all everything. Serial killers, there's blood, there's guts, there's bugs, there's
Nope.
Nope. Yeah.
Nope.
So I'm gonna finish this today, and then
Cool.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you read that, not me.
Yeah. All right. You want to go to our together bookmarked?
Yes, I forgot about
This is also our
This is part of the Good Books Lately book club.
yeah. The Patreon book club for the month of June was The Alienist by
Alienist.
Caleb Carr.
Whenever I see it, I always think of cable car.
Cable Carr.
The letters go together to say cable car. This book takes place in New York back in the late 19th century. We are talking about a time when psychotherapy was more kind of like a taboo.
Yeah, it's starting
people
to
who needed
figure
psychotherapy were,
being developed.
alienated from society. So the people who worked with them to try to psychoanalyze them were considered alienists. This is back in the time when there were insane asylums and sanatoriums and things like that. Well, we have our protagonist, which is Kreitzler,
Dr.
Laszlo Kreitzler, and then the people that are working with him are trying to hunt down this. At this point, he's a serial killer.
Yeah.
But this killer of young boys. And he has a very particular way that he does it, and they're trying to hunt him down
using
psychoanalytical
as well
theory.
as kind of like at the time not applicable like methods of detection, like
Right, so like fingerprinting wasn't widely used, so they're trying to use that handwriting and analysis. Things that are kind of outside of the police work that's going into this. So they are kind of not the detectives. They work with the detectives, but they're not the official detectives. But they're all lending these like lenses to the situation to try to solve this particular, very grisly case. Now, I will say going into this, somebody had mentioned in the comments or something about the book being very slow and very hard to get going. As we're listening to this, full disclosure, as an audiobook, the audiobook is fantastic. The person who does this is great. His voices for all the characters are really good. However, I don't know how I read this book.
Yeah,
because I have physically read this book.
Previously read it before.
And I think I must have just been a very ambitious reader when I did this, because there was that period of time. I think Angus was born.
Maybe, or
because
right before.
It was when I was going to the library a lot, checking out books while I was tutoring children, which happened after Angus was born.
Okay.
I don't know, number one, how I read this book, physical, because it is very heavy in description, and just the writing is very... I don't know. It's a lot. It's a mouthful.
He definitely takes his time to explain the background of things.
But the
to
words,
get to a point.
the verbiage, the words, and the way that it's written is old world sounding.
Yeah, and it's all from the perspective of not Laszlo though. Of
Moore, John Moore.
John Moore, who's a newspaperman.
Yes,
and he's like recounting this case
retrospect.
Point.
Yeah, well. And then also, too, I don't know how I read this, because it does deal with young children.
And kind of
And
gruesome.
it's relatively graphic. So if you have a sensitivity to that, you probably don't want to read this book. They are boys, they are adolescents, and they are prostitutes.
Yeah.
And prostitutes that are kind of dressed
females.
like women. So they're supposed to look like girls. And they are doing it not like, well, they're not forced to do it, but I mean, they're desperate. So it's just the only way that they can. So that in and of itself is hard to read about. And there are very vivid depictions of what they do.
Yeah.
And then, which all of that together, and then the killings and all of that are very, they're not graphically described in the moment, but it's the after, whatever.
Yeah.
So you might want to steer clear of this one.
Yeah, we've had some people in our club had to DNF it or thinking about DNF it or just like, I'm not going to read that, which is fine.
But it's so interesting, and I feel kind of not responsible. But this was picked randomly.
Yeah, it was a random pick. It wasn't like we chose it. It was
just a random pick, but it is not for everybody, and so it's inspired me to think that maybe I'm going to be doing a little rebellious book club on the side over at Good Books Lately. It's going to be called, what did I say it was going to be called? Tayler's Alternative Book Club, where we have the one book club that we do, but then if I feel like it's a little, not for everybody, I come up with like my own fun, happy-go-lucky, maybe more enjoyable for everybody book, so everybody can be part. So if these kinds of books aren't your thing, there's going to be an alternative.
Yeah, and
from here
we've already picked the next book for the July.
There's going to be an alternative for that one.
But it's
I don't even know what that is.
It's short.
What's it called?
The Moor Stone Sickness.
The Moor Stone Sickness. I looked it up. I mean, look.
It's not about like
No, it's just I don't even know, and
Yeah.
I just feel like we
And
have
it's like a
this
novella
book,
length.
and
It's
then
like
we have this like
140
horror
pages.
book. We need some lighthearted. My mom even says she's like, you need some like happy books. We
Yeah.
do. So this is why Taylor's Alternative Book Club is coming into play. It will run parallel. And the book club meetups that we do, our live meetups, will incorporate the alternative book.
Yeah.
Just letting y'all
And
know.
if you want to be a part of that,
Patreon is the place to go.
we do live. We're trying out live hangouts, all that. So.
It was so much fun last time. We do after shows. There's going to be an after show for this where we share with you some recent smelly books that we got.
Yeah.
Some schmelly books that we got at the used
Yeah.
bookstores. Okay, this is neither here nor there. Moving on, book pickups.
Oh no, not book pickups.
No, what are we doing next?
We're doing other stuff.
No, we're doing compelling pickups before we do that.
Are we doing compelling pickups?
Compelling
Those
pickups.
were going to the after show.
All of the compelling pickups are going
Right.
to the after show?
No, we okay, yeah, we can do compelling. You wanted to?
No, that was going to go to the after show. Okay, we'll do compelling pickups in the after show. Yeah. Okay. But in the meantime, we're moving on to the next section, which is called Other Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to Other Stuff.
Yeah, we're going to
We're
talk
going to
about other stuff.
Other stuff. One of the you start.
What I start?
Yeah, about the.
Oh,
puzzling.
yeah. So for Father's Day, I'm a big puzzler. You get me started on a puzzle, and it's hard to pull me away from it.
I'm gonna do you puzzle.
Hey, Smith, what do you think it's gonna look like?
What do I think it's going to look like?
Yeah, the puzzle.
Winston, it's on the box. The picture's on the box. It's a Japanese garden.
And so for Father's Day, Taylor bought me a new puzzle,
Yeah.
and we're gonna take you guys over there.
I just turned on my camera because I'm going to film you going over there, and it was facing me. And there's nothing worse than turning on like your front-facing camera and you're looking like
inches away. Yeah.
it's the worst. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to film the puzzle. We're going to walk over behind here because we had to move. We have Monopoly going over here at our table.
Monopoly.
So we had to put the puzzle over here. You ready?
Yeah.
Puzzling.
So you got me for Father's Day the World of Agatha Christie puzzle, which is a really cool puzzle because not only is it about Agatha Christie here and kind of her world,
Yeah.
but you get this huge, puzzle poster.
Oh yeah.
But all this information about Agatha Christie, and within the puzzle itself are 90 what they call clues to spot.
And it's more like a seek, like a seek and find, or
Yeah, kind of a look in. Well, I mean, they gave you all the answer here, but tell you like different things about the pale horse and the mousetrap and different things from her books.
Yeah.
The sarcophagus from 450 from Paddington. But look at, the illustration, the artwork is really cool.
It's so beautiful, and the pieces. Do you mind if I just take one off to look
Yeah,
at
the
the pieces?
puzzle pieces went in really nicely.
They're real nice puzzle pieces. For those of you that are into puzzles, I don't know if this even shows it, but it's nice texture. Yeah, it's a good.
Really nice puzzle.
It's a good puzzle.
So I enjoyed that. And if you like more puzzling content,
Come to the Patreon.
because I share all my puzzles there.
Yeah. So this brand we got this at or I got it at Barnes and Noble. So they sell.
Yeah.
They have others. They have one for.
World of Sherlock.
Oh, this is Ilya Milstein.
Illustrated by-
Ilya Milstein is the illustrator. Yeah. So that is the puzzling. All right, puzzling.
Back for your other stuff.
Yes, I have other stuff to share. So I have been really enjoying getting back into like my sketchbooking and painting. I do like watercolor and gouache and then sketching, color pencils, all that kind of stuff. I've had a lot of fun with that. And I'm trying to learn more about watercolor techniques. It's just the thing I'm getting into right now.
It's just a silly phase I'm going through.
I watercolored some more bookmarks, and these are supposed to be inspired by like vintage nature books. In fact, some of the schmelly books I'm going to be sharing are some of these like
Censor that.
yeah, okay. Anyway, we're going to talk more about that. But
Go
this
to
is
Patreon for that content.
but this is one that I did. This is the San Francisco Peaks in Flagstaff, Arizona. Keep your little So I did this bookmark here, and we put a little thing on there. And then I did this. This is the Paruloxia bird.
What?
Paruloxia? It's still not. It's trying to look at you. You're handsome. So I did a Paruloxia bird. And then I did a little bundle of mesquite pods. These are all inspired by illustrations from that Southwest Golden book that I have. I just kind of replicated that. And then my last one is my favorite one. This is the Desert Prairie Dog. And it's ink and pen and wash. So I sketched it out with ink, and then I watercolored it, and
Nice.
I love it. So that's
Yeah.
my little other stuff. It's my collection of vintage nature book inspired watercolor bookmarks. And then Branden did one
Yeah, I just found a picture on the internets,
on the interwebs.
and I just sketched out real quick.
So this one, you get in there a little bit closer. So looks like she's topless, babe. But I told Branden, I was like, you should create a collection of bookmarks, and we could, do something that would be called Branden's Smutty Bookmark Club.
There you
Because,
go.
sassy
Yeah.
ladies on the bookmarks. That's good.
But this is with pencil and what is it, acrylic marker?
Acrylic paint pens.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did great.
Yeah.
They're awesome. So that's my other stuff, I've been making some bookmarks, and that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, that's it. That's other stuff.
That's all we got.
And
for
that's
today's
everything
episode.
for today's episode. Over on the Patreon, we're going to have an after show where we share with you some of the schmelly books that we got.
Yeah.
Some vintage books that we picked, for me at least, some vintage books.
Yeah.
And then you have,
check out some.
yeah,
check out
new
the merch store
having
down
a
below.
fun. Yeah.
I think it's down there, or linked
be
in
somewhere.
the description.
Hey, you can support Good Books Lately, but let us know in the comments what you guys are reading, and if you've read anything that we have read here, or if you plan to. What are your thoughts on metaphysical type books?
Yeah.
Have you read The Alienist? Is it too much? All of these kinds of things. And then those of you that are part of the Patreon and the book club over there, how do you feel about Taylor's alternative book club?
Yeah. I'll go have more of that
It'll be running
in the after
alongside.
show.
Yeah.
And tomorrow's chat.
Sounds good. Oh yeah, it's if you're I don't know
This
when
is-
this goes
this
live.
is-
This is going to be after, yeah. But Patreon, we do live hangouts, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we will hopefully see you guys over there. All right. Thank you for hanging out with us. Like, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah.
Bye. Are your lips chapped?
Nope.
Yes, they are. I can see.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. They're dry.
No, they're
I
not.
can see that they're dry. They're gonna be so juicy now. Oh yeah, that feels so good. Yeah, look at those juicy kissers. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.